Okay, it's May 29, 2024. I'm Todd Dunn, and today is the first sail of the 2024 season. It's a pretty light air day, and we're going almost downwind. But what you're looking at is the brand new Raleigh Tasker Genoa, unrolled for actual sailing for the first time. I ordered this late last fall. It came right after haul out. So I've had this new Genoa in the bag in my garage all winter, and I'm really glad to have it out. We got in the water 1 week ago. It took a few days to get the boat rigged, but now that it's all set, we can go out and sail. And as you can see, it's pretty flat out there. So we're going to head over toward the Cranberry Islands. I think this is going to be a fairly short sail today. Right here, we're going past the Hinckley Company's mooring field with all their boats that they winter store and are currently launching, hanging out here as they get ready to deliver them. And the wind is picking up a little bit right now. We're up to 4.7 knots. So hopefully we'll have a nice sail today. It's perfect conditions for the first sail of the season. How warm would you say it is?
I think it's around 60.
Yeah, it's pretty warm, upper 60s to around 70. It's shirt sleeve weather for sure. Water temperature, however, is only about 55, so you do not want to fall overboard. However, that's warm for this time of year. When we first bought this boat back in the 90s, you put the boat in the water in May, the water temperatures in here were in the upper 30s. And that really affected how comfortable it was out on the water. There's the view out toward the Eastern Way with Sutton Island on the right and Greening Island right here, and Mount Desert Island with its hills on the other side of Greening. Okay, I'll come back when we get out a little more. Well, fortunately the wind picked up a little. We're doing 5.2 knots right now as we're headed over toward the Cranberry Islands. That's Great Cranberry there. And through the Dodger you can see Sutton Island. And over there in the distance is Bear Island with its lighthouse, the white building on it. And the hills of Mount Desert Island over that way. So it's really a nice day out here. We were over at the marina on Sunday, and the wind shifted into the east, and the temperature at the marina dropped by about 20 degrees in 10 minutes. It was, everybody went and put a coat on. We were having a Memorial Day weekend barbecue, so it was quite a change. Okay, we get over closer to the Cranberries, I'll come back. Well, we're on a beam to broad reach right now, headed more or less east. You can see Mount Desert Island and Bear Island with the white lighthouse on top of it. And we're still making 4.5 to 5 knots depending on just how the wind is doing. And the boat is really not heeling much at all. That's one of the big advantages of a new sail with good shape, is it has much less heeling moment than a 20-year-old sail that was a little blown out. So right now I'm kind of wishing I'd bought the new sail a little earlier, but anyway, it's really nice out here. I've only seen 3 other boats under sail, so pretty much have the great harbor of Mount Desert Island to ourselves, with the exception of some boats carrying trucks and other equipment and people back and forth to the Cranberry Islands. And so it's very pleasant out here today. Beautiful, beautiful day. And it's really nice to be out here again. Over that way, as soon as that landing craft moves past, you can see one of the other boats that's out sailing. And the other, I saw also, the friendship sloop Alice E is out here somewhere. Not sure exactly where. Let me stand up and we'll see if we can pick him out. Well, I don't see him. And we're headed right now toward Great Cranberry Island. Okay, it's looking south out the western way with Long Island and Frenchboro in the distance. And I can see it's a little choppy out there because I can see some whitecaps on one of the ledges. It's supposed to be about 4 to 5 foot seas outside the islands today, so we're not going to go out there. We're just going to cruise around in here where it's quite calm. And the wind forecast today is for 5 to 10 with occasional gusts up to about 15. And we're going to sail up toward Great Cranberry, and I think we might fall off a bit, sail over toward Little Cranberry and Islesboro or Islesford, and then back in past Sutton, maybe go over and have a close look at Bear Island Lighthouse. Depends on what the wind does. This is Great Cranberry Island and its harbor, and there are not too many boats in there yet. Great Cranberry and Little Cranberry are part of the town of Cranberry Isles, and they are 2 of the 4 islands in this area that have year-round populations. The 2 Cranberry Islands have about 45 to 50 people living on them year-round. There's no public ferry service. There is a private ferry. I don't know, I think it does run all year, and although not as frequently in the winter. And it's very, very quiet over there on these islands in the winter. And in the summer, there's quite a large summer population. Population will increase at least tenfold. Okay. That's Sutton Island, which is also part of the town of Cranberry Isles. It has a lot of houses on it, but no one lives there year-round. It's a summer population only. Does not have any really great places for a dock. So in the winter, when it's rough and windy, it can be kind of hard to get ashore there. Okay, so we're going to sail past Great Cranberry here and head over to Islesford on Little Cranberry Island. Well, changed our minds. That's Islesford over there, but it's straight downwind, and which would mean a number of tacks to get back. So we are headed over toward Bear Island to take a close look at the lighthouse for the first time this year. And out there, I believe, that is the schooner Ambergris, probably out with a load of tourists. Now, I'm really happy with this new Genoa. It really is working well. It's got great shape. We're making 4.7 knots right now on pretty much a beam reach, and we're hardly heeling at all, only about 5 degrees. So it's really nice. And back there is Southwest Harbor, where we came from. Today is just a short sail, first time out. We're not going to push it, and just take it easy today as we look at Little Cranberry Island and Great Cranberry Island. Now, this is Sutton Island. We're approaching the west end of the island, and there are some really nice or huge summer homes out here, and there are also some relatively small summer homes. I see one boat over there at a dock. So there's somebody over on the island, but I don't see any other boats on moorings or anything. Oh, there's one on a mooring. So a few people are over there, but not many. And we're going to sail past the west end and head over toward Bear Island and Bear Island Lighthouse. Over here we have a small old wooden lobster boat headed out with a load of tourists for the ultimate lobster dinner on the water. That is Jason with his lobster dinner tours. He takes people out. He has a table in the back. He steams some lobsters, and they sit out here on his mooring on the north side of Sutton Island and enjoy a lobster dinner with a view of Mount Desert Island. Yep. There they go. Right now we're headed toward Bear Island. You can see the Bear Island Lighthouse there on the island. Now, Bear Island is actually owned by Acadia National Park, and the lighthouse is leased out to somebody who maintains it as a private home. The island, even though it belongs to the national park, is closed to the public. Okay, we're going to sail right past Bear Island and Bear Island Lighthouse, get a good view of it. I'll zoom in a little bit. Right now you can see that the keeper's house still has the windows boarded up, so the people are not yet there for the summer. There it is. A very classic Maine lighthouse dating back into the 1800s. I'm not sure exactly when that one was built, but it's been there for a while. Okay, I'm going to have to tack, so I'm going to have to put the camera down. Well, the wind picked up a little. We're close hauled, beating to weather at about 5.7 to 6 knots, and making good time. Probably better part of 15 knots of wind right now as we're headed south. After tacking around at Bear Island Light, and we're heeled about 10 degrees is all, so maybe 15 occasionally. These new sails make a big difference in how much the boat heels. As we look at the west end of Sutton and Little Cranberry Island in the distance. For anybody who's interested, Sequester is an Allied Princess 36 ketch, and I am lazy, so I sail it without the mainsail. Right now we're doing 5.8, 5.9 knots to weather without the main up in about 12 to 15 knots of wind. And the boat sails very comfortably this way, and I have it set up this way because as an old geezer in my 70s, I'm not as agile as I used to be, and with the boat rigged this way, I never have to leave the cockpit except for when we cast off from the marina or when we come back. So out here I can put all the sails away without leaving the cockpit, and it's very easy, only takes a couple minutes. So we're going to head south a ways, and then I think we'll tack around. We're not going to go outside the islands because it's supposed to be a little bit choppy out there today. And usually with this wind direction, it's actually less windy outside than it is in here. Okay, this is Great Cranberry Harbor again, and we're headed south out the western way a little bit. The tide is coming in for about another 40 minutes, so we don't want to go out there too far. Right now we're going to be against the tide, and probably it'll stop having active current against us in just a few minutes, and then the current will start to carry us out, which means that if we try to come back, we'll be slowed down by the current. We have hit 6 knots though, close hauled. So I'm not pushing, not trying to go fast, but that's how fast the boat went. And we did heel enough that at one point a few things slid across the cockpit on the bridge deck. Well, it's a beautiful day out here today. I'm really glad we decided to come out today. This is the western shore of Great Cranberry Island, and you can see a few summer homes there. They mostly look like they're still closed up for the winter. Part of the employment for the local people is to caretake these homes in the winter, get them opened up for the summer, and then close them up again for the winter. And this is the buoy, nun buoy, marking Cow Island Ledge, which is a ledge a couple hundred yards closer to the island that bears on low tides. Yeah, so much for going out the western way. We were sailing along close hauled, and suddenly the wind shifted and backwinded us. So we tacked around. Wasn't planning on it, but sometimes it happens. And that's the northwest tip of Great Cranberry Island, right over there. Oh, this has been one of those days, typical Mount Desert Island sailing day. It's closing in on 4 o'clock, and the wind has dropped off to the point where we're going 1.3 knots. So we're probably going to head back in, just stay out for about 2 hours altogether today on our first sail of the 2024 season. But it is nice to get out here, and it's sure a pretty day out here on the island. Looks like there's more wind a little over to the north, closer to the island, so we might pick up a little wind as we head across. I can feel it picking up already. Oh, well, we're going 1.1 knots. So
Well,
okay, we got a harbor porpoise right astern of the boat, right there. And I can, there it is. There's another one back behind us. Oh, there it is. Fortunately, these aren't like those killer whales off of Spain. This one's coming in close. Oh, right under the boat. And so that was the first harbor porpoises of the 2024 season. Oh, it's always nice to see some of the local wildlife, harbor porpoises. I did see a loon, but of course, before I could get the camera and point it at it, it dove, which they tend to do. They're kind of camera shy. We're looking east between Sutton Island on the left and the Cranberries on the right. Very nice day out here today. The wind has really dropped off right here, and we're just clipping along at a steady 2 knots or so. Or what are we doing? 1.8 knots. So not very fast. And here's another boat behind us coming in, and he's not got a lot more wind than we do. So often later in the day, the wind drops off in the late afternoon and goes to almost nothing at night. And when it drops off, is usually a little later than this, but it may well be that the wind is dying out for the day. Oh, we've sped up to 2.1 knots. 3.1 knots. Oh my God. Now we're headed toward Greening Island, and the entrance to Southwest Harbor is off to port a little bit on the left-hand side. So we'll sail over this way a ways and see how we go. But we're going to head back in pretty soon. It was just a quick sail to make sure everything was working properly, that I didn't screw anything up. Since I've already had my first mishap of the year in that I ordered the Genoa with the sun cover on the wrong side, so I had to pull the line out of the furler after I took the sail down and wind it up the other way. But it's correct now. Oh, we're blazing 4 knots. So I think we've gotten out of that wind hole. So another beautiful view of Mount Desert Island with some cloud shadows on the hills. And a nice view out toward the cranberries. Well, we decided to head back in, and of course as we go into Southwest Harbor, the wind is blowing straight out of the harbor, and we've been beating toward the harbor at up to about 6 knots. And there's Greening Island, and I see the local sailing team is out for a little practice. That's a kids sailing team. And we're going to come up here just a little bit further, and we'll furl up the jib, start the engine, and take the mizzen down and head into the marina. So it should be pretty easy. Right now we're headed straight for Clark Point in Southwest Harbor. Okay, it's about 4:30. We're back at the dock. It was about a 2-hour sail today. Not bad for a first sail of the season. We stopped at our mooring briefly, where I dropped and flaked the mizzen and got the bow mooring line rigged back up so it was ready to just grab when we got into the dock. Now today the wind is southwest. It was blowing us right onto our finger pier, so I just slid into the slip, let the wind blow us on, and that was that. It was a nice sail. Hope you enjoyed coming along for the first sail of the 2024 season. And I'll be out there hopefully making some more videos as we sail sequester here around Mount Desert Island, and hopefully further afield this summer here on the coast of Maine. Thanks for watching.